right, so I'm going to try and cover the vocabulary assignment as quickly as possible, but also give you as much as I possibly can to help you know exactly what I'm looking for in this assignment. So, all right, the vocabulary assignment, I know it feels hard because what's happening is you're layering your knowledge. You're using critical thinking, and that's why it feels like not easy. And that's good. That's right. That's what I want you. I want you to feel that way. Because your instinct might be you want to define the word, but maybe not use an example on how you know what the word is. And that's the key right there. It's that critical thinking aspect to this particular assignment. So I'm going to give you the what I don't want, and then I'm going to show you what I do want. Hopefully that will help you. Obviously, first and foremost, I do not want a ChatGPT or a Google answer. I don't want those. I could do that myself. I don't want that. I want you to show me your understanding. Plus, Google and AI get it wrong, pretty much for the most part. And also, to be honest with you, I'm really sick of AI answers. So please don't do that to me. And trust yourself. You know the answer. I know you know the answer because you've been you've been doing the work. You've been doing all the things that you need to understand exactly what it is I need from you for this assignment. So that being the case, I'm going to give you a couple examples and hopefully this will help guide you. So the wrong way, the way I do not want you to do this is I don't want you to just define the term. An example of that would be the design of the the design of the study is called a protocol. You just define the term for me. I don't want you to define the term. I want you to show me your understanding of the term by using it with an example. Okay? I'll give you a few right ways and hopefully this will help you. So, the correct way, the way I want you to do this particular assignment is the protocol for the experiment required each doctor to wear gloves and a mask while handling the specimen. So we know what a design of the study is going to be the protocol, but you just showed me what the design looked like. You gave me an example of the protocol by showing me the protocol is that the doctors wear the masks and the gloves when they're handling the specimen. That's how you showed me exactly what you know protocol to be. Okay, let's give maybe a couple other examples. So maybe let's use the word argument. Argument is very often used incorrectly. So I'm going to give you a correct example of how to use argument in a sentence. So an argument is a stance on an issue. So here might have been a way in which you could have used both examples by explaining what an issue is as well as an argument. So you could say that Sarah and Jesse were trying to figure out whether or not they should feed their dog Alpo. That's the issue. Okay, remember the whether or not gives it away. Sarah and Jane were deciding on whether or not to feed their dog Alpo, and Sarah argued that they should feed their dog Alpo because of the reasons, and they give reasons. So because their dog was healthier after they fed them Alpo, right? So the argument isn't them fighting. It's not a quarrel. It's a stance on an issue. And so in this example, you would say Sarah and Jane had a discussion on whether or not they should feed their dog Alpo, and Sarah made the argument that they should because it was healthier for their dogs. Do you see how that was used? Okay. If we're going to use issue in a sentence, you don't just say they had an issue. That's actually an incorrect way of using it. So you would want to show me what's the issue. The issue was whether or not Sarah and Jane should feed their dog Alpo. Remember that whether or not statement. Okay, so you want to give me an example of what an argument is, and an argument is a stance on an issue, right? Or the issue, which is whether or not you should feed your dog Alpo. If you were to use morals in a sentence, you're going to have to show me an example of what those morals are, right? So if you're going to say that, Jess was a moral person because they did not steal, lie, or cheat. You could say that. Remember how morals and ethics were different, how ethics was a morals encoded in a system. So that would relate to like your job. You don't steal from your cash register. or you don't give away medical information from a patient kind of thing, right? So this is how you would be using examples when you're using the word. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do another example for you. You could say that the sample was biased because it did not reflect a random representative population. Okay. Let's see here. The target population that the researcher was trying to generalize was the college, Butte College campuses, on whether or not they chew gum. Remember? So you can use examples from the lecture, to help you out a little bit here. I've seen sometimes students might use themes throughout that kind of help them. So if maybe you're going to be doing the statistical evidence and generalization, maybe there's a particular study that you pull from that you use consistently throughout to help give examples. And the reason why I say that is in using argument or issue, if you have the issue being whether or not you feed your dog Alpo, you can use that throughout the entire, I'm sorry, I got a fly in here. You can use that throughout the entire assignment, and it just kind of helps keep it simple and easy. So, you could use an argument. You could say, again, Sarah and Jane were trying to decide on the issue of whether or not they should feed their dog Alpo, and Sarah made the argument that they should feed their dog Alpo because it was healthier for her dog. And then the next line, which is conclusion, you could say, both Sarah and Jane came to the conclusion that they should feed their dog because they noticed that the dog was healthy as they ate more of this food. And then the issue is whether or not they should feed their dog Alpo. The reasons why Sarah and Jane came to the conclusion that they should feed their dog Alpo is because they saw the dog was getting healthier, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the goal here is not to define the term, but to show me your understanding of it. Let's see if there's any other examples that we can do here. Statistics showed that the baseball player constantly had a great batting average whenever, he was at home, whatever, right? You would use statistics, but show me an example of what the statistics would look like. We know that the different types of ways in which we use statistics is in sports, business, advertising. How might you use examples to show me your understanding of the term statistics, okay, versus just defining it? Okay, I hope that that was enough to kind of help you out. Don't forget, use the vocabulary word in the sentence and bold it. Sometimes I'll see when students go to do this assignment, they forget to put the vocabulary word in the sentence. And I'm like, oh, don't forget that. I know it's hard. It gets layering, especially as when you're like, word 16, when you're in your vocabulary word 16, you're like, you get into a good rhythm, but you forget to use the vocabulary word in the sentence. So don't forget that. Don't forget to bold it and avoid defining it, but show me an example of it. Okay, so again, this takes practice. Luckily, there's a lot of vocabulary words, but pause, slow down, and reread your sentences as you go through and make sure that you, checked all the boxes is the thing. The goal here is you showing me your understanding of the term. And if you don't know, go back to the book, go back to the lecture, go back to the lecture notes, get it into your system so that you're like, okay, I get it. And sometimes if you're like me, I gotta say it over and over so many times before I finally get it. And try and create examples and see how that works for you. That's how you learn, and that's the ultimate goal here. So hopefully that helps you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help. And if you're looking for, if you have more questions that how can I do this? If you need maybe a little bit of guidance, I'm here for you. So please feel free to reach out. That's what I'm here for. So good luck, and I will see you on the other side.